Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with day 18 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. This is round 10 and we have 31 exclusive sketches created by some of the participants that are doing 30 Days of Sketches. And this one is by Nikki Rowland. And I love how fun the sketch is. And it can be more is more. It can be pretty simple. I decided to use Coco Vanilla's Storyteller. I think this is probably like the third time I'm using this collection. I love it so much. And so I have these two pictures that I'm going to be documenting. I'm going to cut them down a little bit, but these are the pictures I'm documenting. I'll explain in a minute. And then I have the ephemera, the pocket cards, the foam titles, the accessory sticker sheet that I haven't really used a whole lot off of. And then I have some scraps over here. Some of these I thought I might cut up and use on the layout, but I didn't. But I do use scraps, so don't worry. And then a couple papers that I plan on using. And then I have this chip sapphire as the color I'm going to use to do my stamping. I have my papers, my embellishments, these pictures, some ink. I'm going to pull in a stamp, and then, of course, this awesome sketch. So let's see how this goes. So first things first, I got this paper. This is one of my favorites. It's such a pretty paper. So I wasn't going to lose all of that because I'm only using this to matte the background, which is going to be this wood grain. And she has a stark white background, and I like that, but I really didn't want that. Now I could use the back side of this wood grain, which is the white with like the little plus signs in the two corners, and that would have worked fine, but I really liked the wood grain. And so one of these pictures is pretty earthy because there's like the stone fireplace in the background and stuff. So, and then I take this scrap of paper that's got this blue on blue crosshatch pattern, and then I cut a part of it and flip it over. That floral is the back side of that blue paper, and then that little piece of wood grain is something I had cut off of this paper that I'm using as my background. So, and I'm just going to use all of that. I've already tacked it down. I pulled out this stamp. I got this off Amazon. Don't have a clue the brand. There was no packaging on it, so I'm sure it's not a name brand or anything, but they work just fine. This is my first time pulling one out, though. I love the look of stitching. My carpal tunnel doesn't love the active stitching, so I don't do it as often as I would like, just because, like I said, I love the look of it. My friend Tara stitches on quite a few of her layouts, and she'll share them with me, and I say, you are crazy. Awesome, crazy, good, but crazy, because it's a lot of work. And she doesn't just do like a little line here. She'll like completely outline stuff. So I think it's fantastic, but hand stitching is hardcore. And I have a sewing machine that I got for my birthday, but I have not attempted to use it yet. So I know I need to take a class. So anyway, I am using this to make that grid pattern that is in the top left corner on this layout. It's behind the pictures and the embellishments. And since I didn't have anything like that, although I will be on the lookout for a stencil similar to that, I just decided to use a stitching pattern and make my own like cross, the little hash patterns. So, and I think that it turned out cool. I'm going to do some inking. I'm not 100% happy with when I do it, but the end effect I do like. I wanted to bring out the yellow and that pink, and so I used, I almost said mustard seed. It's not mustard seed, it's wild honey, and then I used spun sugar, which is like super, super light, and you can barely see it, but when I tap it out and then end up like patting it a little later, it makes some splotches on there that I really do like. And then it blends with that blue that I did the stamping with. So it kind of distresses all of that. So in the end, the way it looks, I do like it. At first, though, I was like, I'll cover that later. So I'm going to use the back of that striped paper that I gutted to matte my pictures to give them, because they're both kind of a darker picture. And then I matte them again on the stripe paper. And that way it's bringing in that stripe from the outside, the colors from the outside, and helps them stand out on all these papers. So, and I love the way they look. Now, these pictures are interesting, I'm sure. This is my niece, my nephew, my daughter, and then the individual is my son. I'm not sure why he wasn't in the picture up there at the top. But these shirts that they are all wearing are my dad's. And after he passed away, each of the kids got to pick a shirt or two from his closet. And my dad was a big fellow. So obviously it's like a dress for the boys, because at this time they were like 8, I think. And the girls, are not very tall. So, or big for that matter. So they're all wearing my dad's shirts, and so I love that. And then my son is wearing it at our house. The other picture is at my mom's house. And so I had that picture and I wanted to put them together because they all do wear their shirts. And my son even wore his to school for pajama day a couple of times. So that's his favorite shirt. And so even at 13, he still wears that to bed sometimes. But anyway, don't tell him I said that. So that's what these pictures are about. And I was just documenting the kids wearing dad's shirts. I documented a picture earlier, maybe this month, or it could have been last month, of like a pylon. All 4 of them were laying on top of each other, like acting crazy. And I had that picture that I documented, and all of them were in my dad's shirts then too. It was the same day. They don't wear them all the time. It just was the same day. So anyway, this is from me documenting 2018. Now, this thing that I have right here is that the words was one of the pocket cards, and I didn't want all that yellow around it, so I wanted to have the yellow just slightly, but not the full card. So I lightly fussy cut it out, and it says, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, how much more is the whole story worth? And so I really wanted to lean towards the concept of the story behind these shirts and why they're wearing them, and things like that. I mean, there's more to the story. I don't know how well you can tell, but my daughter in the teal shirt has a paper towel in her pocket. My dad always had a paper towel in his pocket when he wore those shirts, and just, things like that really only our family might understand or might get the sentimental value of a paper towel in your pocket. So that's one of the reasons I went with Storyteller for this layout, because I knew that there were a lot of references to telling the story or the whole story. And so I have a little half circle on the bottom that says our story. And then that circle up at the top says moments in time. And then that little label above the picture of my son says true story. So I didn't care how many times the word story was on here, because it is on here 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 times that I can see. And I'm okay with that. I put a sticker, let's see, I might not have done it yet. Oh, I'm getting ready to. So I pull one phrase sticker that says snapshots of now, and I put that up at the top. And then I have another one that I'm going to put right on top of the picture of my son, towards the bottom. So it's not covering much, but a little bit of his shirt. And because it was going to be white on white, I ink it with that chip sapphire. And it says more to the story. And so there is more to the story. The picture he is in, like I said, he's wearing my dad's shirt as well. And he's got his little binky, which was a gift from his, like a cousin or a great aunt. And there's a special sentimental value to that binky as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of stories in these pictures, even though it's just pictures of 4 kids wearing real big shirts. And if somebody saw that, it would just be sweet and cute, and that's funny. But to those who know the story and understand it, then it's, much more special. So I have added a bunch of like the black foam hearts, and I went through and added some of the enamel hearts as well. And I'm going to call it done. I'm going to show you the close-ups. And I do love the way this turned out. I'm so glad that after it dried that the ink looked like I'm happy with the way the ink looks now. So, and there are all those lovely little embellishments. I love the florals. I did the florals instead of the stars because it was more fitting. And see how it distressed the stitching in that part where I smushed the ink in. So I hope you'll go down below and check out the playlist of all the awesome creatives who are hopping along. I hope you'll come back and see me again really soon. I'll be back tomorrow with another 30 Days of Sketches exclusive sketch. And I hope you have a great night. Be scrapping.